Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to be talking about Kirsten Gillibrand. She is a candidate for the Democrat presidential primary. She is running to win the primary so she can go head-to-head with Donald Trump in the general, okay? She wants to be president of the United States of America in 2020. Let's talk about her strengths and her weaknesses, who she is, and what she stands for. Okay, so who she is. She is a United States senator from New York, okay? New York State, and so, and is she a Washington insider? Is she an outsider, or is she a spike? She is a Washington insider through and through, dyed-in-the-wool Washington insider. I think she's one of the strongest Washington insiders. She is the most, like a Washington insider, is most Washington insider, like, saturated of all the Democrat candidates I've come across. She is very much Washington insider. Okay. All right. So let's talk about what she stands for. Okay. Almost all of course, the Democrat candidates, and there's 15 of them now, they stand for a lot of things, but generally across the board, they're going to sign off on the Democrat playbook at some level. And right now, I'm defining the Democrat playbook as the big stuff, right? As free college, free Medicare, concern about climate change. That's pretty much it, right? Like you're like, that is seriously, like, that's the Democrat stance, period, end of sentence, right? And very, very few of them range from that in any way. They'll add to it, they'll take away from it, but they almost all sign off on that. What's incredible is the Green New Deal really is not on the Democrat playbook yet. And the reason why is AOC's super down. AOC is its greatest champion, right? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. But Nancy Pelosi, like, just smacked AOC down like a little puppy. Like, no, we're not ready for that. And I can understand why. The Green New Deal, so not all candidates are signed off on it, and the reason why is including Kirsten Gillibrand. To my knowledge, Kirsten Gillibrand has not signed off on the Green New Deal. And the reason why is, if you're being honest, the Green New Deal is massive change for America. It is, like, good or bad, but it is not like, oh, hey, let's see what we can do. It is a mobilization. So basically, much of the Green New Deal is based on research done by the United Nations. And basically, I was listening to a top climate change advocate recently, and he explained that to understand the Green New Deal, that 10-year national mobilization, the UN says to fix the problems we have, and this has been built into the Green New Deal, it is an effort equal to what America did for World War II, right? It is the urgency, the time, the amount of people that would have to be moved, the amount of resources that would have to be redone for it. It is absolutely massive, literally like nothing before done in history except for World War II, right? Like, the scope is incredible, and Kirsten Gillibrand has not signed up for that. Kirsten does have 3 distincter policies that I've heard so far, and that is, I'm just going to use a mnemonic real quick here, transparent 9/11 families. So let's go through those one at a time. She's for transparency in politics. This is a terrible stance from a tactical perspective. It's a good stance from a governing perspective. I am for transparency in government, right? I think it's a great idea. The more we can see how the sausage is made, I think it's hard. Like, I like going to a perfect example of this is, I love restaurants where you can see them making your food. Shake Shack out west has this, right? You can see them making your burger, and they're like, if it's in sight, it's all right. And I like, it's a simple thing to say, but yeah, it's right. Like, you could see, like, they have to be on point because you could see them making your food, right? Same thing with politics. I love transparency in politics. I'm a political wonk, right? Most people don't give 2 rats about transparency in politics. And in addition to that, this is a classic issue that people care about every 4 years and don't give 2 rat tails about after those 4 years are done, right? So basically, from a tactical perspective, this is not going to win her any votes, in my opinion. It really isn't, right? Now, she is for extending the benefits that have been given and really making sure that the funds available and that the momentum available for the 9/11 families, the families who have descendants who died in the 9/11 attack, are taken care of, right? That seems like a really wonderful and noble thing to stand for, and I would be super impressed if she wasn't from New York. So that, I think that kind of takes away from that a little bit. Like, it's in your home state. Come on. Like, you know, if any other candidate was standing for this, and they, you know, then they weren't a New York congressperson or the mayor Bloomberg, who already dropped out, right? It would matter. But, like, you know, it's a U.S. New York senator caring deeply about the 9/11 families. You see where I'm coming from? I think we should. So I'm very glad we've helped those people, and it's a terrible tragedy that happened. I can definitely see the value of her standing up for this, but I don't think it wins any new votes because people aren't going to be impressed because it's what you expect, right? And that's one of the things that's happening right now is if it's already a predictable thing, it's not going to get coverage and it's not going to sway people, right? So I really don't think that tactically that brings anybody over. That doesn't win her any more votes or give her any more momentum for the primary, right? So I was talking about transparent. Oh, yes. Here's something new. I hadn't heard this from many other candidates. She is for universal paid family medical leave. So we already have FMLA, which is Family Medical Leave Act, which it's very progressive. Even at the world standard, it's fairly progressive, and it means, like, if you adopt a child, you can take 3 months off. If your parent dies, you can take 3 months off. Some amount. It might be as low as six weeks somewhere, and some of these might higher or lower. But you know, generally, your parent dies, you get time. You're guaranteed to be able to take time off of your job, and your job has to be there when you return. And there's a whole bunch of things, like if your child has autism and you want to take a period of time to get them special care or something. All these things are wrapped into FMLA. She's like, hey, we got FMLA, but right now all you can do is take that time off and you're not paid. So if you're poor, you don't take that time off anyway. So FMLA is functionally not important, right? And it is functionally not used, right? And I think it's perfect. That's a great point, right? From a tactical perspective, again, I think no points here. And the reason why is I think people just see it as a nested subset of healthcare, right? So what are her strengths and her weaknesses? Well, her strengths aren't any of her policies, in my opinion, because none of them are bold enough to really spike through and mean something big, right? People who have really bold, shocking, intense policies, Andrew Yang, Elizabeth Warren, right? Kamala Harris has some really different stuff, right? These people are out there, they're saying things that are really new, right? They're not just saying, hey, I'm a competent politician, vote for me, right? So I don't think her policies are really anything that is a strength for her. I do think perhaps I think her strengths are she absolutely meets the criteria to run, right? And I think that basic criteria is intelligent, able to communicate, and lacks major scandals, right? And that's absolutely true. Kirsten Gillibrand is very intelligent. She is absolutely able to communicate, and the last one is she isn't riddled with scandal, right? That's good. I mean, that's really good. It gets you there. What are her weaknesses? There are a lot. I think Kirsten Gillibrand is the absolute dyed-in-the-wool best example of a Washington insider. And she's really, really stuck with this because when you listen to her talk, one, she absolutely sounds like a politician. She has that, you're going to listen to me because I'm a politician. You're going to listen to me because I'm powerful. I don't need to rush what I'm saying because you're going to listen to me. I don't need to make sure that every sentence I say is entertaining, shocking, interesting, exciting, new, right? Simple. And that's one of the things, like, there's so many people who get it now. Who are like, okay, Donald Trump changed the game. Every sentence I say has to be shocking, entertaining, exciting, new, or simple. or some combination of those, right? And she just does not get this, right? Oh, I did forget one more strength. She is a mother, and she is proud to be a mother. I forgot that. And other candidates are not. I have not seen any other candidate use use the fact that they're a mother in a way where they're saying, I'm proud to be a mother, and I want to, and actually using that to reach out to nurturers, people who care for children, right? And I thought that was very, very different, and it's definitely a strength. Sorry, let me go back to the weakness part there. But she's very much a dyed-in-the-wool Washington insider. And more than anybody else, when I look at Kirsten Gillibrand, I really do feel bad about this. Like, the fact that she's like, I'm an incredibly competent politician. I've served this nation. I'm intelligent. And here, look, I have these reasonable, really well thought out, really well planned strategies to bring our nation to a better place. And that better place will probably be, I will not let us drop 1 inch, and I'm going to improve us by 25 and 33%. That's not what she's saying, but overall, that's what I'm hearing, right? She's not like, I'm going to make us the best nation ever, like, she's like, I'm going to keep what we have, and I'm going to drive us forward 25 to 33%. It's so reasonable and so wonderful and so sound, and it will so lose, okay? What you got to understand, I think Trump, the biggest thing is you have to understand the importance of build the wall, right? Build the wall is an utterly ridiculous idea. It is terrible governing, right? Tactically, it is pure genius, right? It rallied people. People chanted, build the wall, right? No one is going to chant Paid Family Medical Leave Act, right? No one is going to chant transparency in government, right? She doesn't have anything chantable, right? And now Yang, people are starting to chant his stuff. Yang Gang came up. He didn't invent Yang Gang. It just came up, right? Yang Gang, Andrew Yang is having trouble controlling his people, keeping them on message because they're so excited, right? And whereas Kirsten Gillibrand, I think she probably has the best plan from a traditional politics stance, right? And I think if she got there, I do think she would struggle against Trump in the elections. And the only reason why is I haven't seen a fighting spirit. I haven't seen the ability to clap back. I haven't seen, hey, I'm ready for daggers out, right? And when it gets to the general, man, Trump is going to be no nonsense. He is what you saw in 2016, I think is going to be really tame compared to what he's ready to bring for this new one, right? For 2020. So, I think she would struggle in the general, but if she got to be president, I think she's incredibly she has such a sound, reasonable, well thought out, well orchestrated plan that I think she would keep us where we're at and make the country 25 and 33% better. But there is absolutely no way you could take a reasonable plan and get it through 15 candidates scraping to pull you down, right? And then a dude who has transformed politics forever, right? That's like putting like a poodle against a grizzly bear. It's not like that old school politics. It just doesn't work anymore to win primaries or generals. It doesn't get you there. It's awesome when you get there, but it doesn't get you there, right? And the reason why is the same, it's the win the camera, control the camera. You cannot win the camera with these reasonable, sound, wonderful plans that Kirsten has that absolutely no news organization with a $50,000 camera wants to put on air, right? And so that's the issue. And anybody who has something that they can put on that night and has a soundbite, you're going to hear about them, and you are certainly not going to hear about Kirsten Gillibrand. So Kirsten is, we talked about it. She is intelligent, right? She has the ability to figure this out. She has the ability to listen to this commentary right here and figure out, you better come out, man. You better show a side of yourself that either doesn't exist and that you're going to manufacture for this race, right? Which you can do that, right? Or she has got to find her inner fighter spirit, right? And really come out with policies that are simple, shocking, new, exciting, or entertainment, and are at least 3 of those. And she's got to have new ones every single month. She's got to drumbeat this thing, man. So Kirsten Gillibrand, she's a really, I really sense a lot of earnestness, and I really also sense that she has sat down, right, and really said, do I want to be president of the United States of America? She has sat down and said, what is the best path for this nation? What are policies that would absolutely actually work, right? What works with the money we have, right? She has acted as a true stateswoman, right? And I will tell you right now, I don't believe for 1 second even half of the candidates have done this, right? Many of them are like, bet, I'm going to win this, right? Or they're like, I'd like to be president. You know, like, I don't think everybody has noble beginnings in this race, right? Or like ones that would be respected, right? But hers is very respectable and very reasonable and very ignorable by the press, right? I think she can reach people like me, political wonks, right? But there's not many of us, right? And guess what? I don't do a lot of chanting, right? Like, you know, so like, and that's what Trump figured out, is like that there are people in this country who want to be excited by something simple and shocking, right? Something they can get behind. And right now, Kirsten Gillibrand doesn't have any of those. She has the ability to get them. The question is if she will, right? I think she's fully capable of winning the 2020 elections if she changes her demeanor and if she changes her policy stances to something that can win in this pit bull environment, right? And so that's my take. I'm curious what will happen with Kirsten. We shall see. I think if the primary happened today, I'd give her a 10% chance of winning. If the general happened today, I'd give her 20% chance of winning. That's my thoughts on Kirsten Gillibrand. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Kirsten Gillibrand, U.S. New York Senator. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful day.